what do you need every day as a mobile notary? What are some of the supplies or the equipment that you're going to use? Well, we're going to get into that right now. So let me let you know that you can find all of this in my free ebook. You will need to send me your email address if you would like to get that, along with a business plan that you can use to get started in your mobile notary business. All right, so the very first thing you should consider as you're getting your supplies, what are the things that you need to have available to be able to make money as a mobile notary? Well, the first thing is you've got to have internet connection. So whether that's, on your phone or some kind of a hotspot, use your phone even for mobile hotspot. But if you need a modem, get that. Whatever you need to be able to have internet connection at all times if you're out and about doing your mobile notary business. You have to have a good, reliable computer, because as a mobile notary, you may need to be able to download documents. You definitely have to have internet for getting your email. So setting up, your email so that you can get your instructions for your notary jobs, and being able to have access to that will require internet. So making sure that you have a good, reliable computer, making sure that your phone, you've downloaded the apps for your profiles and for your email on your phone. Have to have a good, dependable cell phone service. So, I know there's a lot of companies out there that have a very, very cheap, as far as cost is concerned. You want to make sure that you're looking at the map, make sure that you put in your zip code, that you're going to have access to signal regardless of where you are. Now, I know that there's going to be a few blind spots here and there, but overall you want to have good service. And just so you know, this is not a plug-in. I don't make any money, but I use a service that's called Flash. If you'd like to know more about that, I'm saving over $100. I went from T-Mobile to this particular company. I love it. I haven't had any issues. Service is always really good, and I'm saving a lot of money. So if you'd like the link on how you can get the same service that I'm using, or at the very least look at it and compare to what you're paying now for what you have, feel free to send me a request for that. I'm happy to send that to you as well. So the next thing you want to consider is how you're going to print your documents. You want to have a dual tray printer like the one I have back here. This one will print on legal and letter. And if you're not familiar with legal size, this is legal size. It's 8.5 by 14. This, for example, is letter size right here. So you can see the difference. So you want to be able to print both, because there will be times when loan signing companies will send you legal size documents that you'll need to print. So having that dual tray printer is going to make sure that you're able to follow the instructions and be able to complete the assignment. Have to have, you have to have this, from the get-go. Whether you're just printing general notary work documents or whatever, you want to be able to print. And finding something like this, these are really inexpensive. This is a very good printer. This one happens to be HP. I will use HP printers for something like this. And then I also have a brother printer that's a 3, or all-in-one. It scans, it prints, legal and letter. So find yourself a good brother or an HP that will, that you have access to being able to do all of the above. Now, when you're out purchasing a printer, you want to consider a few things. You want to consider the cost of the ink, how fast does it print? Because if it's really slow and you're in a hurry, that's gonna be, number one, it's very frustrating, and number two, it might make you late to your appointment. So you want to be able to scan and print fairly, fast. You want to, if you just cannot get a dual tray printer, start out with a single tray and then upgrade later. At the very least, even if your printer is slow, you know, start out with something, and you can always upgrade later as you start to complete assignments. Go out and invest back into your business and use the first one kind of as a backup. I have 4 printers just to make sure that, you know, I don't have any issues, because it does happen sometimes. Like I'm in a hurry and I've got to get somewhere and my printer's not working. Well, I have a few other printers that I can, you know, use as backup. I would say don't buy any off-brand printers unless that's all you can afford. You maybe ask your family if they're, you know, if they have a printer that they're not using, or maybe they know of someone that might be selling one that's used. Like I said, start out with a, you know, what you can afford, and then you can upgrade later. So just let everybody know that you're looking for a machine in case they, you know, see one or find one. Keep their eyes open for something special, you know, a good deal. Maybe they're out shopping at a store and they, you know, open box. I know I bought one that way, open box. It was one of the best printers I've ever owned. I still use it to this day, and it didn't cost me that much. Also, you're going to need something to carry everything in. So I'm going to show you what I use. This is, and I get a lot of compliments. This is my bag. It is, you know, everyone calls it a briefcase, but in here I can carry up to about 300 to 500 pages total in my bag. It fits, legal size, by the way. Okay, now this bag in here, when I open it, I have everything in here that I could possibly need. So let me show you some of the things you will definitely need to have. So I'm going to start with, of course, the pens. You need to have blue and black ink pens. Now, these are my favorite pens. I buy these at the dollar store. I have not found another pen at this price point that is as good and that lasts. The color is right. The way that it writes is just amazing. Everyone that ever uses one of these, my clients, they always want to keep it. I say, no, just go to the Dollar Tree and get your own. I buy a lot of these at once, so I make sure that I never run out. All right, then the other thing you want to consider is having a stapler. Sometimes I have to staple a check to the documents. These are flat head staples. I like them because they will actually scan through my scanner without damaging it. So if you are going to buy a stapler, make sure you buy something like this. It's a flat head staples. If you'd like the link for these, again, I don't make any money from that, but if you'd like the link for these, let me know, and I'm happy to send that to you. One of the other things that's important to the business is making sure that when you go out, sometimes your client may have a document that maybe they've handwritten, or maybe they downloaded it somewhere, but it doesn't have a notary block on it where you can fill out, you know, subscribed and sworn before me this day, and then, you know, notary signature and a place for the seal. So I bought this. This is a stamp, and it comes pre-printed with the verbiage, the notary verbiage. So I just stamp the document, I fill it in just like I would any other notary block, and then I use my regular stamp, which is in this little case. This is from my daughter. She gave this to me. This is my stamp. So then I stamp it, and I'm good to go. And the client is happy, and you know, they've got the notary block on the document itself. Something else very important that I keep in here with this is my rubber finger. You should never, ever be using your tongue, your spit to, you know, to get through the documents. This makes it very easy. You see how my fingernail fits through there? It's very, very comfortable. And this allows me to get through the documents very fast. I can go through, you know, 300 pages very quickly, especially when I'm going back to check to make sure I didn't miss anything. This makes it very, very easy. It looks very professional. They come in different colors, and let me show you the box itself. I ordered these from Amazon. These are called Lee. They're made by the company Lee, and they are the microgel grips. These are very, very good. Very easy to use. And they come in all different colors and different sizes. Maybe you want the first box you buy, you maybe buy a sorted size so you can figure out which one's the most comfortable for you. But this goes in my bag as well. And Of course, for taking payment, I do have one of these little square, this one's made by Stripe. This is Stripe Service. So I keep this here. It's also a backup. I can use Square on my phone. I can use Stripe on my phone. So I can either do invoices or send payment links. I can, do where they just touch and pay. So make sure that you have all the different types of payment options, whether that's Zelle, Cash App, all those. Then you must have in here is some kind of a clipboard. This comes very handy when you go into a hospital or you go into someone's home and they are not able to get to sit at a table. It's happened also where I'll meet someone, in their front yard, and so this makes it very, very easy to use, so they can have something to sign. Also keep in here a lot of extra things. So like my notary commission is here, but also I keep notary acknowledgments. These are blank ones. So for example, if the document they have doesn't have the space for this big stamp, I can attach one of these to their document, and this allows them to be able to get their document notarized. I also keep a few other little things in here. Remember, I'm in the state of Texas. So medical power of attorney, I also have a durable power of attorney here. In case they needed one, I can show them. These are what most people use, and they can decide if it's something that will work for them. There's also a travel consent form for a minor child. I keep these here as well. Sometimes people just need them on the run, and or I'll show up and it's not complete, or or they mess it up and they need a duplicate. So this allows me to be able to assist them a little bit better. And then I also keep these. These are for my FedEx whenever I'm shipping something back. Sometimes, I don't want to wait in line for them to give me one of these. They don't keep them out front anymore, at least not here in Houston. So I'm really good about having those, and I keep some of their FedEx envelopes in my car, so on the go I can drop that off immediately. Of course, having a place for my business cards, those are here as well. My business cards. Also, make sure that your business card has your face on it. That's very important for this business. All right, and then of course, again, you want to make sure that you have something to carry your documents in. That protects your documents from the rain, from the elements. So something like this where you can fit legal size documents. So maybe rubber bands, paper clips, maybe those little binder clips. You may want to have some of those handy, whether you keep them in your car or in your bag. Just making sure that you have a few of those. Also having tape. I just ran out, and I have some in my car, but it's the big tape that you can use to kind of seal your documents or seal other envelopes. Sometimes, they don't seal very well. So for added protection, I'll just use the big, packing tape, clear packing tape. Always have that handy. It's good for a lot of other emergencies as well. So making sure that you have those. Something else, I think it's very important, having extra clothes, shoes in your car. It's happened. I mean, over the years, I've spent a lot of time on the road. I don't do that as much. This is more of like kind of a side thing for me. Before, when I used to do it full time, I'd spend a lot of time on the road. Things can happen. You need extra clothes. The weather changes, especially in Texas. So having a jacket or something that's going to keep you warm, or, if you spill something on yourself, food, drink, or whatever, this is important. Also, having cash on you. It's happened to where I've gone maybe somewhere and I needed something either to eat or to drink, or maybe going to a FedEx to pay for something. Their system is down and they're only taking cash. So it's important to always have a little extra cash on you on hand. Keep that, for emergency purposes. Also, extra reading glasses. So if you have problems reading and you carry them around with you in your purse or whatever, but then all of a sudden you realize that you used them last night and you left them by the TV. So making sure, on your nightstand, making sure that you have that extra pair of reading glasses, in your bag is huge. Also, you might want to let your client borrow them. Maybe they forgot to bring them to your signing, and now they need a pair because they can't see. So just having that, you can always sanitize them later. that's something else that you want to keep. I keep in my car door is a bottle of sanitizer. I always, I open the door from the outside, and then the first thing I do is put my hand underneath the pump and I clean my hands before I actually get in my car. If you're shaking hands and you're touching, things in their home or whatever, or you've just touched their pets, you want to go ahead and sanitize your hands before you go to the next job. So just keep that in mind, especially if you're out on the road a lot, you're touching a lot of surfaces, even pumping gas or whatever. I've really gotten in the habit of making sure that I'm cleaning my hands as often as possible to keep from getting sick, and just contaminating other surfaces. So making sure that you're thinking about those things, just being prepared, whether it's having, I always also keep in my car extra, the plastic utensils to eat or napkins. I like to keep a cup in the car. There's so many things that you want to consider if you're spending a lot of time on the road. So especially if you're out in the rural areas where there's not a lot of gas stations, making sure your car is always full is huge. That's very, very important, keeping your car full all the time. And then having also some kind of little post-it pads maybe in your bag as well. If you needed to make a note for your signing agency or the title company or the lender, whoever hired you, and attach that to the documents, that's good, making sure that you can take notes. Or if you just need to remind yourself of something, having extra, maybe a roll of toilet paper, a roll of paper towels in your car. Those are some things to consider as well. You just want to pack as though you're going on a trip and you don't know when you'll get to the next gas station. So just keep that in mind. It's very important to have a lot of extras. And a lot of times we don't really think about it. So just keep all those things in mind. That's the majority of the things that you're going to need as you're going about doing your mobile notary business. Aside from the obvious, having your commission, your journal, that should be in your bag as well. Having your notary journal in your bag, and of course, just making sure that you're keeping yourself safe. You may want to, I do have a little spray of mace in my door, in my car, just things like that, a lot of times, I never really think about worst case scenarios, or I'm not overly, thinking about that, but it's always in the back of my mind. And so I prefer to prepare for that and not need it than need it and not have it. So always be aware of your surroundings as you're going out and about. I can honestly say it's only been maybe twice when I've ever felt maybe a little unsafe, but the majority of the time I'm very careful when I go out, when I take assignments. There really isn't a lot of reason to be, scared or fearful of going into other people's homes. Most of the time, when you're doing these loan signings, for sure those people have been very vetted. They've been doing the loan process for at least 30 days. Now, when you're doing general notary work, and this is a direct assignment that you maybe got from your website or Google My Business, that's a totally different thing. But we'll talk about that later. I just wanted to make sure that you are aware of the things that you're going to need as you go out and about to do and grow and evolve your mobile notary business. Y'all have a blessed day.